Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. In today's video, we're jumping into the brand new FH5 Update 28 and the FH5 Update 29. The developers actually confirmed that there won't be a separate update dropping in January. Everything is going to be in this month's update. And in today's video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know from all 23 brand new cars. We're going to talk about some new event lab stuff, world update stuff, and everything in between, so buckle in. Real quick though, before we jump into all of the new cars, new bug fixes, and so on, I just wanted to start today's video off by saying a quick thank you to each and every one of you who have checked out the AR12 sticker store. We launched the sticker store back in September, and it's been a massive success. So for the next 48 hours, every single order is going to come with a free mystery sticker, just to say a small thank you to all of you guys for all of the support. Now, here's the deal. I usually like to start these videos off with the festival playlist and all of the new cars that you can unlock in there, and I promise I will. But real quick before we get into that, there is one bug fix that I wanted to mention specifically that's coming in this month's update. According to the developers, they have fixed the car sound for the Corvette Z06. Unfortunately, the developers didn't actually send us a sound clip of the new sound for the Z06, so we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow when the update actually comes out. So make sure you subscribe, because that's definitely gonna be in my video tomorrow, so be on the lookout for it. Now that that's out of the way though, we can jump into the FH5 festival playlist. We have so many cars to talk about in today's video though. We're only really gonna focus on the all new cars that have never been in a Forza game before. There's a lot of cars in this month's update that have actually been copy-pasted. I'm still going to tell you how you can unlock those cars, but we're going to focus on the really cool stuff. We have 4 cars in this month's festival playlist. Each car you can unlock by getting 20 points during its respective week, starting off with week number 1. This is the 2009 Lotus 211. It's an awesome little race car that's been in a bunch of previous Forza games. It's based off the old Lotus Exige S. It's an awesome car, but a very forgetful car. So much so, I thought this thing was actually already in Forza Horizon 5. In week number 2, you can unlock this thing, the 2019 Morgan Aero GT, one of Richard Hammond's favorite cars. It's been in a bunch of previous Forza Horizon games before. It's an awesome little car, just maybe don't take it to a hill climb event. However, if you are a fan of driving cars made of wood, this is the perfect car for you. Actually, now that I say that, I'm pretty sure this one doesn't have any wood in it. During week number 3, this is finally where we get an all-new car for Forza. This, well, sorta kinda. This is the 2022 Subaru BRZ. And I mean, yes, it's also in Forza Motorsport, but it takes you 3 hours to do an engine swap, which, let's be honest, just isn't worth it, so we don't count that. So it's in Forza Horizon 5. I'm actually very excited to jump into the Subaru BRZ and give it a go. One thing actually interesting to note is the Toyota GR86 in Forza Horizon 5 does have a really cool wide body kit. I wonder if the Subaru BRZ is also gonna get a fun, unique wide body kit. It's possible. We'll have to see. And then last but not least, during week number 4, you can unlock this thing, the 2000 Lotus 340R. Yes, the ugly duckling of Lotuses is also coming to FH5, and again, the same way as the 211, I actually already thought this was in the game, if I'm honest. So those are the 4 cars that you can unlock during the Update 28 festival playlist, but we have 4 more cars that you can actually get as early as tomorrow. You can buy all 4 of these cars from the auto show, but you're gonna need some big money bags to go and do so. The Aston Martin DBR1, the Jaguar C-Type, the Ferrari 512S, and the Porsche 906 Carrera. All 4 of those cars are getting added into the auto show, but I think like the minimum price for one of them is like 2 or 3 million credits or something like that. If any of these cars do end up being insane in Forza Horizon 5, I will definitely do a dedicated video all about them. Spoiler alert, the Ferrari 512S was a fantastic car in Forza Horizon 4. It was actually my favorite Ferrari in that game. And the Carrera 906, that was one of the fastest cars in FH4. I wonder if it's going to be OP in this game. We'll have to see. Now, I don't want to start any conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I do find the timing kind of funny. The developers have chose to add 4 super expensive cars into the auto show in this month's update, conveniently after last month's update, which added in car vouchers that you can buy with real-life money, which grant you 1 free car from the auto show. I just find the timing kind of funny, you know? I know we've already spoke about 8 of the cars coming in Update 28, but there are even more for us to talk about. we have 2 more cars related to the Secret Santa event. Yes, FH5 is getting Secret Santa Part 3. On the home screen, there will be a bar that players can fill up by gifting cars to other players. The more gifts we give, the faster the bar fills up. The way it works is once we get to 50% of the bar filled up, all players will actually get gifted that special car, and the same thing when we get to 100%. Now, I want to make something super clear. The Secret Santa event is not rigged. It is 100% correlated with how many gifts players give, and it is not dependent on time. At least that's what the developers will tell you. Now, if you've watched the channel for a little while, you know I like to make predictions, and I'm gonna make some very brave ones for this one. I'm gonna say 50% of the bar is gonna be filled up on Christmas Day, and 100% of the bar is gonna be filled up on New Year's Day. If I get both of those correct, I would consider that a Christmas miracle. Anyways, let's talk about the 2 cars that you can actually get in the Secret Santa. Starting off at 50%, you can get this thing, the Gordon Murray T50. Yes, it is finally coming to the game. I love this thing. You might actually have heard that name before. Gordon Murray is the man who designed the McLaren F1 back in the day. He worked for McLaren, and in 2015, I think or so, he started up his own company, and he called it Gordon Murray. Gordon Murray is a man of the people, and I love Gordon Murray because essentially what you're looking at here is a modern interpretation of the McLaren F1. It has 3 seats in it, the same way the McLaren F1 does. It has a 4-liter Cosworth naturally aspirated V12 engine that puts out 700 horsepower. And the cherry on top, 6-speed manual. It is an incredible car. And the second car that we can unlock in the Secret Santa is actually a secret. So if you want the secret to be a secret, spoiler alert, skip to this time in the video. This is where I would have put the picture of the Aston Martin Valkyrie. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but you probably already know what it looks like. The Aston Martin Valkyrie, though, is an incredible car. It is worth noting that this is not the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. It's just the regular Valkyrie. It's still outrageous, though. It has a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 with electric batteries, like a KERS system, like you'd get in a Formula 1 car, because, well, it was made in collaboration with Red Bull, so you know it's quick. And it has over 1,100 horsepower. It's insane. It is genuinely a race car for the road, and it is unbelievable. Not even joking, this thing could very well be one of the fastest cars in Forza Horizon 5. I'm very excited to dig into all of the upgrades. It's going to have an absurd amount of downforce, an absurd amount of horsepower. I'm so hyped for this thing. I've been waiting years to drive this in a game. So those are all 10 cars that you can unlock this month in the festival playlist, in the auto show, in the Secret Santa. But we are not even close to done. Before we get into any more of the new cars, we have some world updates to talk about, where this month we're actually going to have 4 weeks of winter. And to actually celebrate the winter and the holiday season, on December 14th, the developers are actually putting a new winter wonderland in the stadium. It actually looks really cool with like these really nice looking trees, this kind of racetrack that runs around the outside. It looks beautiful, actually. And if you're actually a fan of making your own racetracks, we're also getting some new props for the event lab. Specifically, we're getting new racing curbs, start-finish lights, a checkered flag. We're getting race barriers, brake markers, and we're also getting an igloo, which is pretty cool. You love to see it. And we are also getting one new racetrack. It's called the Winter Wonderland Circuit, and it's actually going to be a new racetrack that's permanently added into the game, but you can only play it in the winter season. Sounds pretty cool. I'm excited for it. We have one more thing to talk about, and this is probably the coolest thing of them all, but it's gonna be controversial. This is the Fast and Furious Fast X car pack. You get 5 cars for $10, making it the most expensive car pack we've had in Forza Horizon 5. This car pack is actually coming out tomorrow. That's when I'm going to be playing it. And yes, we already have some car pack codes to give away to some of you guys, so be on the lookout for that. Let's jump into those 5 new cars, though. And this wouldn't be a Fast and Furious car pack if it didn't have a Dodge Charger. That's why it actually is 2 of them. We'll come to the second one in a second. This is Dominic Toretto's 1970s Dodge Charger. It has a massive V8. Yes, it sticks right out of the hood. and it delivers nearly 1,000 horsepower. You already know I'm gonna take this thing onto the drag strip and see if we can actually do a wheelie. This thing looks fantastic. I'm very excited every time we have a big American muscle car with an engine that sticks out of the hood. Car number 2 is this thing. Jason Momoa's, well, his character's 1966 Chevy Impala, the bright purple villain car. This thing is fantastic. It has a 1,100 horsepower V8 engine, and it's just so cool. I think it's actually my favorite car in this film. Whoa. Maybe my second favorite car in this film. I think you already know what's gonna be first place. The 2022 flip car. Yes, I can't believe I'm even saying this. We are getting a flip car in Forza Horizon 5. All 6 wheels are in FH5. All 3 axles actually steer. The front set, the middle set, and the rear set of tires, they all steer, so you can take corners extremely sharply. It has a massive V8 engine that puts out 700 horsepower, and it is by far one of the coolest things Fast and Furious has ever made. I've got to assume, though, the flip car isn't actually gonna flip cars in Forza Horizon 5, though. Right? That is something I will definitely be testing tomorrow, but we'll see. Car number 4 is this thing, the 1973 Datsun 240Z. It has over 700 horsepower, this lovely yellow paint scheme, and a fat wide body, and it looks incredible. And 5th and finally, we have our second Dodge Charger to talk about, and arguably, this one might even be cooler than Dom's one. This is the 2022 Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye wide body. Yes, it is finally coming to FH5. However, this isn't actually any normal Red Eye wide body, because this one's actually been modified from 800 horsepower to 1,000 horsepower. And on one hand, that's cool because more horsepower is just fun, but I don't know if I'm the only one. Would anybody else have loved to have had like a stock Red Eye wide body in the game, and then with upgrades we could have actually made it like stupid fast? Seriously, a very cool DLC car pack, but it is one of the most expensive. But on the other hand, the cars are also really cool. What do you guys think about it? Are you gonna pick up this car pack? And that is everything in the FH5 Update 28. And now we can move on to the Update 29, or as I'm gonna call it, the worst update we've ever had. This is actually called the Community Choice Update, and this is not a good one. Back in September, the developers did a survey and basically asked players what cars from previous Forza games do you want to see come to Forza Horizon 5? And that's awesome. That's super cool. The developers didn't allow you to type in whatever car you wanted. They had it set up as a multiple choice question. So it was like a list of cars that they apparently wanted to have in the game and just had us pick and choose them. And the cars that were most voted by the community are here. And this is how you can get them. Now, don't get me wrong. These cars are great cars. However, I think if the developers, no, I guarantee if the developers actually did a true community choice playlist, none of these cars would be in it. So you know how every single Thursday I like to go into Forza Horizon 5 and unlock a new car? I'm not gonna do that during the Update 29 month. I'm actually gonna go in and do my own. I'm gonna go in and play Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon games from back in the day and showcase the properly cool cars that we would have actually liked to have seen in Forza Horizon 5. Cars that haven't been in Forza games for years, decades, and so on. I'm gonna call it Forza Rewind, and I'll see you during the month of January with that. Oh yeah, during Update 29, they also decided to add in some old PR stunts that were already in the game. And the neons are back. All right, that's everything for the FH5 Update 28 and Update 29. Update 28 is sick. Update 29 really sucks. Thanks for watching.